you ever imagined yourself sailing with Columbus or the other early explorers across uncharted oceans to unknown lands? Was the food and water supply may never hold out. The tiny ship may be wrecked in a storm, but at least you're not alone. Now try to imagine another kind of journey. In our story tonight, one man travels all alone. Barton, a pilot taking a small emergency dispatch ship, an ambulance, to an outpost on the frontiers of space. There's nothing uncharted about this journey. Every inch of his route, every item of his equipment, every section of his ship has been worked out according to mathematics and physics. But one thing has not been allowed for, the human element. Barton encounters a problem that has nothing to do with science, the problem of human emotions. This is our play tonight, Cold Equation.
Hello, this is Group 2.
Bill, this is Preston.
How are things over there?
Pretty bad. 2 more went down with the fever this morning. We've got to get that serum, Bill.
Yeah, I know. Look, there's a cruiser should be within range any time now.
Keep trying, Bill. They can only last 48 hours without the serum.
I'll keep trying. This is Woden Research Unit calling Cruiser Stardust. Woden Research Unit calling Cruiser Stardust. Come in, Stardust. Woden Research Unit calling Cruiser Stardust.
Activated yet.
You should leave it alone, you know.
162.3.
162.3. We thought you'd better carry your own emergency supplies. We don't know what the position is on Woden.
Right.
Oh, what about the serum?
Carlamage fever. It's on board in the refrigeration compartment.
Right.
Well, have a good trip.
Exterior oxygen supply on.
Exterior oxygen supply off.
Exterior oxygen supply off.
Blast off activator in ready position.
Blast off activator ready position.
Your EDS is now independent of the parent ship.
Ready for blast off on instruction.
Check. T-minus 30 seconds to blast off.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4,
3, 2, 1, 0.
Seco. Retro sequence now 300 miles south. Retro jettison switch off. EDS on calculated automatic course. Good night. Or rather, good morning.
Well, there it goes, Commander.
Think you'll get there in time?
I hope so. I had to go with scarlet fever myself once. I wouldn't want it again.
No fear. The MD says they've only got 48 hours from the time they notice the first symptoms to get the serum into their bloodstream.
Oh, I should make it fine. Woden's only 80,000 miles from the EDS's blast-off point.
Okay, let's get ourselves back on course. We've got a lot of time to make up.
Gauge on supplies locker shows abnormal reading.
How abnormal?
200, that's 20 degrees centigrade.
I suppose your blast-off jets couldn't have worked loose when you left the Stardust.
What difference does that make to the temperature?
Stay with me. You got any ideas?
Fire?
No alarms.
Unless the alarm circuit's fused.
You get a warning light. Anyway, the temperature's not high enough for a fire.
How about a stowaway?
Yes, stowaway. It sounds like a stowaway. If so, normal procedure. Okay.
Check.
All right. Come out. I said out.
All right. I give up.
Come on. Out. Out.
Well, I'm guilty. What happens now? Do I pay a fine?
What do you think you're doing here?
I wanted to see my brother.
Your brother?
I haven't seen him for 10 years. He's with the government survey crew on Woden, and I haven't seen him since he left Earth.
So you stowed away?
I was only a kid.
So
when
you
he left.
stowed away?
I know it's wrong of me. I'm probably breaking all sorts of regulations.
Where were you going on the Stardust?
Mimir. I've got a job waiting for me there. You see, back on Earth, I took this special course in linguistics. And I graduated, and then he offered me this job on Mimir.
What about your brother? Does he know that you were going to Mimir on the Stardust?
Oh, yes, I sent him a spacegram. You see, I already knew that he was going to be stationed on Mimir next year, when he's...
If you were going to see him next year, what do you want to stow away for?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm a lot of trouble. I don't know. He's my only brother, and I haven't seen him for so long.
What's his name?
Cross. Jerry Cross. He's in Group 2. Well, that's the way his address read. Do you know him?
No, I don't know him.
Why are we going faster?
Fuel!
You mean we don't have that?
How did you manage to get in?
It was easy, really. I just sort of walked in when no one was looking. I was practicing my Gelanese on a native girl who does the cleaning in the ship's supply office when someone came in with an order for supplies. Well, I heard them say it's for the survey crew on Woden, and I slipped into the locker there after the ship was ready to go.
Just like that.
It was just, I don't know, sort of impulse. So I could get to see Jerry.
Have you any idea what I'm carrying to Woden?
No. Equipment? Oh, but honestly, I'll be a model prisoner. I intend to pay for my keep as well as paying the fine. And when we get to Woden, I'm sure I'll be useful.
EDS 34G, calling parent ship Stardust. EDS 34G, calling parent ship Stardust. Emergency, emergency.
Stardust calling EDS 34G.
Get me Commander Delhard.
Check.
Yes? Emergency? Up right along.
Are you going to get them to come back after me? Are they coming after me? Or won't they let me go to Woden now?
Barton, this is Commander Delhart. What's this about an emergency?
EDS 34G reporting a stowaway.
Well, why the emergency call? Do you know the procedure? I suppose you've informed ship's records so that his nearest relatives can be notified.
No, I called you first. The subject is still aboard and the circumstances are slightly different.
How different? You know the law, don't you? Any stowaway discovered on an emergency dispatch ship shall be jettisoned immediately. You know that...
What did he mean?
The stowaway's a girl.
What?
She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a kid. She wanted to see her brother.
I see. So you called me in the hope that I could do something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Barton, there's nothing I can do. I know how you feel, but there's nothing I can do. You will have to go through with it. I'll have you connected with the ship's records.
Check.
What did he mean? What did he mean? Go through with it? Jettison? Oh, what did he mean? Not the way it sounded. He couldn't have.
He meant it the way it sounded.
Oh, you're joking. You're joking.
Look, I should have told you right away. But I had to check first. I had to see if anything could be done.
I don't understand. If you make me leave the ship, I'll die.
What do you think I'm trying to do? I know.
You know.
There's nothing anyone can do.
You're really going to do it. You're going to make me die. I didn't do anything to die for. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything!
I know you didn't.
EDS 34G, this is ship's records. We require all the information in subject's identity disk.
I just want your identity disk. Or 3.
3.
Repeat. Identification number T8374-Y84. Name?
1 moment. I've got to file this on the gray card. Right. T8374-Y84. And the time of execution?
I'll tell you later.
Later? The time of the subject's death is required before identification data. This is highly irregular.
Then we'll do it in a highly irregular way.
I'm sorry, Captain Barton. I'm afraid we'll have to have the time.
You'll do it this way. You'll hear the identity wrist. The disc read first. Repeat. The subject's a girl and she's listening to everything that's said. Are you capable of understanding that?
All right. Go ahead. We'll do it your way.
Repeat. Identification number T8374-Y84. Name, Lee Cross. Sex, female. Born July the 7th, 2160. Weight, 98.7. Height, 5'5". Blood type O. Hair, red. Eyes, blue. Complexion, light. Irrelevant data. Destination, Fort City, Mimia.
Thank you, Captain Barton. If there's anything we can do...
Thanks.
They're waiting for you to kill me, aren't they? You and everyone on that cruiser wants me dead, don't you? Everybody wants me dead. I didn't do anything. I didn't hurt anyone. I just wanted to see my brother.
There's nothing anyone can do. If it were humanly possible to change it, they would.
Then why is it? I don't understand. Why is it?
This is an emergency dispatch ship. We're carrying column H fever serum to Group 1 on Woden. Their own supply was destroyed in a tornado.
Then what about the other group? The one my brother's in, Group 2. Haven't they got any of this serum?
Even if they had, they're 8,000 miles across an ocean. They couldn't possibly get there in time to help.
And if they don't get the serum?
They'll die. 6 men would die.
I still don't understand.
Read it.
Articles by law, paragraph L, section 8, interstellar regulations. This emergency dispatch ship 34G will carry no more excess weight than 527 gelatinum, including pilot. Net weight must not exceed 250 pounds. No excess weight permitted by law.
An EDS carries just enough fuel to reach its destination. If you stay on board, the extra weight will use up the fuel and we'd crash. And we'd both die. And so would the 6 men waiting for the serum.
So I can die alone or take 7 others with me.
That's it.
And nobody wants me to have to die.
There's nothing anyone can do. It's not like being on Earth. There are people there. There are no people here. There's nothing but space. We're traveling twice as fast as the brain can react. Nearest communication is the Stardust. And that's already beyond our reach. The next nearest ship is 40 light years away.
And there's no one, nowhere, who can do anything to help me.
No. No one.
How long can I stay?
I don't know. The computers will tell us. Not long.
Captain Barton,
Speaking.
records inform us that you haven't completed your report.
No, I thought I'd do it later.
Why, what's happened? Have you reduced your deceleration?
I thought under the circumstances. Yes, I'm decelerating at 10 points only.
All right, we'll overlook that for now. What time did you do it?
I cut deceleration at 1800 hours. Overweight is still 98.7. Have the computers let me stay at 10 points only as long as they say I can. Have them give me a reading, will you?
Barton, You will resume deceleration at 1910. Repeat, you will resume deceleration at 1910.
1910. Is that when I go?
Yes.
1 hour.
I'll give you a course correction. Normally I can develop it like this, but I understand your position. However, you will on no account deviate from these new instructions. You will complete your report at 1910. Now, here are your course corrections.
Course will then be 70703 by 23006. At 1910 hours, the EDS will decelerate to 5 gravities. The course...
No hope. No. It wouldn't have been nearer to us in its orbit, but it wasn't. No.
Do you understand?
I do understand. There isn't enough fuel for me to stay. I have to pay. When I feed on this ship, I got into something I didn't know anything about. And now...
You have to pay. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I was being selfish.
I'm trying not to.
I'm sorry.
I'm afraid. I don't want to die. Not now. I want to live. Nobody's got anything to help me. They're all just letting me go ahead and acting like nothing was happening. They don't seem to realize I'm going to die and nobody cares.
Of course we care. What do you think we're trying to do? I know what we've done is useless. It's nothing, but it's all we can do.
Not enough fuel. I can understand that, but to have to die for it, me, alone. How did it happen so quickly? I don't know. An hour ago, I was on the Stardust going to Mimir. Now the Stardust is going on without me. I'm going to be killed. And I'll never see Jerry, Mother and Father again. I'll never see anything again. This is all I'll ever see.
Said no one can do anything to help. Space frontier is enormous. Here along its rim, the exploration parties are thinly scattered and far too far from each other.
I know.
Do you? Take Woden, for example. There are 16 men there. 16 men on an entire world. All the little isolated colonies, the survey groups, the exploration parties, they're all fighting alien environments. Weightlessness,
I know.
fever.
That's what Jerry used to say.
Did he let the environments fight back? People who come to a new world make a mistake only once. Here along the rim, there's no room for mistakes. There's no margin of safety. And that's the job. To make it safe. Safe for new settlers.
There seemed to be plenty of room. I didn't know about the fuel. How could I? I was just going to see Jerry. How could I know about the fuel? How could I?
I wish there was something I could do.
I don't even know your name. 25 minutes.
Try not to think of the time.
There used to be so much time. It all looks very complicated.
It's not really. These things fly themselves most of the time.
All those dials and switches.
Would you like to know how they work? Well, let's take this big one over here. That's the interior pressure gauge. As you know, out here there's no such thing as pressure.
Go on. It passes the time. Could I...
What is it?
Could I write a letter?
Yes, of course.
I'd like to write to my mother and father.
Wonder. I can't promise anything, but I'll try. Would you like to talk to your brother?
Could I?
Look, I don't know. I can't promise, but I'll try. Would you like that?
Oh, please.
How's it going now? Is the EDS on its way?
This is the EDS. Is Jerry Cross there?
Jerry Cross? No, this is Bill May.
Where's Jerry Cross?
Well, he and a couple of others took off in the copter this morning. They're not back yet.
When do you expect them?
Well, they were due 10 minutes ago. Another 5 minutes at most.
Can I contact him?
I'm afraid not. The copter radio's been out of action for 2 months or more. Is it something important?
Yes, very important. Can you hear me?
Not clearly.
Hold on. Look, when Jerry Cross comes in, will you have him contact me?
Sure. I'll have a truck ready to pick him up. Is there anything else I can do?
No, that's all. Try and get him as quick as you can and have him sign me.
Will do. Paul! Grab a truck. Pick Jerry Cross up at the strip. Get him back here as soon as you can.
I'd better write to Jerry as well. He might not get back to the camp in time.
They said he'd be back right away.
No, I'd better write anyway.
Many people on Earth realize what sort of universe we live in out here. They come out here, they seem to think they can behave just as they go back home. This girl goes. Oh, it's not her fault, I suppose. It's a matter of education. She's been brought up in a world where the life has something precious, where there's always a tomorrow.
And life isn't precious here.
Oh, yes. But in a different way. The life of the individual sometimes has to be sacrificed. But she doesn't realize this. She's grown up on Earth. Young girls aren't sacrificed on Earth. Young girls are not jettisoned. There are laws against things like that. Laws to protect the individual.
Yes, it gets kind of hard to remember just what life is like on Earth when you've been out here a few years.
Yeah, but can you imagine it? I mean, if this sort of thing happened back home, or something like it, there'd be newscasts every half hour, people would be clamoring to help. A patrol ship would be on its way already.
And out here there aren't any newscasts. There aren't any patrol ships. Nothing. Just a simple equation. That X equal the weight of the EDS fully loaded.
Just a simple equation.
Will you take care of these for me? You'll see that they're enveloped and mailed.
Yes, of course.
I suppose they won't be sent off till the next cruiser stops by.
No, I'm afraid not.
And they'll have been told by then anyway.
I'll want to get them just the same.
Yes. It makes the letters not important in one way, but in another way they're very important. To me. And for them.
I'll see they get them.
It seems to move faster all the time, doesn't it?
Time's a funny thing up here.
Do you think Jerry will get back to the camp in time?
They said he'd be back in a minute.
hope he does. I feel sick. I want to hear his voice again, and maybe I won't feel so alone. I'm a coward. I'm afraid.
You're not a coward. Of course you're afraid. But you're not a coward.
I never knew there was any difference.
There's all the difference in the world. The two are not connected.
I just feel so lonely.
And you're not alone.
No, I know, but I'm all by myself. I don't know. Before, there was always my mother and father there, and my friends. You know, the ones I miss the most? The ones that are just ordinary. Just ordinary. I wish...
But you are. We all are.
They had a party for me the night before I left Earth. A going away party.
Good one?
Oh, yes. But one of the boys brought a bottle of whiskey along, and they were all drinking. All the boys. Eric, that's the boy that brought it, he got drunk. They're not used to drinking. I got so mad with him. I wouldn't be mad at him now. He was playing around. I wish he were here now.
Do you like parties?
Is it the same with Jerry? I mean, if he should make a mistake, would he have to die for it, all alone and with no one to help him?
It's the same all along the frontier. As long as there's a frontier, it'll be like that.
Jerry didn't tell us.
No, people don't.
He said the pay was good, and he sent money home all the time because Dad's shop only brought in a bare living. But he didn't say it was like this.
Didn't even say it was dangerous.
Well, yes, he did mention that. I suppose we didn't understand. I always thought danger along the frontier was, I don't know, fun, an exciting adventure. You know, like 3D shows. But it's not, is it? It's not the same at all. Because when it's real, you can't go home after the show's over.
No, you can't.
Isn't it cold in here? Doesn't it seem cold to you?
Yes, it's got a bit colder. It's colder than it ought to be. Hold on. I'll give the heater a boost.
It isn't really, is it?
What?
It isn't really cold in here at all. It's just me.
It's got colder. I feel cold. You want a cigarette?
No, I don't, thanks. Oh, I'd like to try it. Would you mind if I didn't smoke it?
It's a stupid habit anyway.
I've never been a smoker, that's for sure. Do you think Jerry will get back to the camp in time? You didn't just say that to make me feel better.
No, I didn't. I'm sure he will. You have to hurry, though. You're going out of range in a few minutes. Beyond contact. So when he does come in, there won't be much time to talk to him.
Not even as much time as I have left.
No, I'm afraid not.
Then I'll go when Jerry passes beyond range. I won't wait any longer after that. I won't have anything to wait for. Maybe I shouldn't wait. Maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe it'd be better for Jerry if you just told him about it afterwards.
But he wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want you not to wait for him.
Is it day or night where he is?
Just coming on tonight.
So he'll have all the long night ahead.
He wouldn't want you not to wait for him.
And Mother and Father don't know yet I won't ever be coming back. I'd caused everyone I loved to be hurt, hadn't I? I didn't mean to. I didn't intend to.
It's not your fault. You didn't know what you were doing. And they'll understand that.
At first, I was so afraid of dying that I was a coward. Yes, I was. I was just thinking about myself. Now I can see I was just being selfish. You know, the terrible thing about dying like this isn't that I'll be gone. The terrible thing is that I'll never see them again. I'll never be able to tell them that I knew about all the sacrifices they made for me, the things they did for me, that I loved them so much more than I could ever tell them.
You don't have to say these things.
But you do. But it's only now I realize that you do. I never told them any of those things. People don't say things like that because they're afraid of seeming silly and sentimental.
You don't have to say them.
But you do. You do. It's different when you have to die. You suddenly wish you'd told them while you could. You wish you could tell them you're sorry for all the mean things you ever said or did to them. You wish you could tell them you didn't really ever mean to hurt their feelings.
But you don't have to say these things. Parents know. You've known it all the time.
My family are strangers to you. How can you know?
Emotions are the same whoever you are.
And you think they'll know what I want them to know?
Far better than you could ever tell them.
I just keep remembering all the things they did for me. It's the little things that seem important now. Jerry sent me a bracelet of fire rubies on my last birthday. It was beautiful. It must have cost him a month's pay. But I remember far better what he did the night my cat got run over in the street. I was 6, I think. I can't remember. I think he wiped my eyes and told me not to cry. Because the cat was just gone for a short while. He said... What did he say? He said she'd gone just long enough to get herself a new fur coat. He said she'd be back on the foot of my bed the next morning. And she was. Isn't that funny? I used to remember that story so well.
I remember things when I was a kid. And when I got to your age, I just forgot them completely. Fortunately, I remember them vividly now.
It wasn't till a long time later. Mother told me Jerry got the owner of the pet shop out of bed at 1 in the morning. When the man got mad about it, Jerry said he was either going to come and sell him the white cattle, or he'd break the man's neck in the morning.
It's always the little things you remember people by, isn't it? Things they did for you because they wanted to. And you've done things for Jerry and your father and your mother. Things that you've forgotten about. They'll never forget.
I hope I have. I'd like them to remember me like that.
They will.
I wish... The way I'll die. I wish they'd never think of that. I've read how people look when they die in space. I don't want them ever to think of me as something dead and horrible like that. They won't, will they? They won't.
Of course they won't. You're theirs. You belong to them. They could never think of you as anything else.
I'm still afraid. I don't want Jerry ever to know, but I can't help it. If he gets back in time, I'm going to pretend I'm not afraid at all.
EDS. He's coming in. Jerry Crossey's coming in now.
Trouble. You better talk to the EDS.
Sounds like bad news.
Hello, Jerry Cross here. What is it? Hello, Jerry Cross here. What's the bad news?
All right, go ahead.
Hello, Jerry. I wanted to see you.
Louder.
Hello, who is this?
Jerry, it's me.
Is this the EDS?
It's me.
Me? Oh, look, what is this game?
Jerry, it is me. It's Lee, your sister.
Lee?
Lee, I don't get this. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, where are you?
Jerry, I'm on this ship.
EDS?
Yes.
Lee, I don't get this. You were on a cruiser going to Minia. You sent me a spacegram telling me.
to see you. So I hid on this ship.
You hid on it.
I'm a stowaway, Jerry. Jerry, I didn't know what it would mean.
Lee, what have you done? Hey, look, you're kidding me.
Jerry, I didn't. It's not.
Lee, pull yourself together.
Don't, Jerry. Don't feel like that. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted to see you, Jerry. Please don't feel like that. Don't let me go knowing you feel like that.
Don't cry, Lee. Lee, don't cry. Little sister, don't cry. You mustn't cry.
I didn't want you to feel like that. I just wanted to say goodbye. Because I have to go in a minute.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, sis. I didn't mean to sound the way I did. Look, give me the pilot for a minute, will you?
Speaking. Yes, of course.
What did the computer say?
Look, I can't turn back. My position is 98.7 increase. Fuel gauge is down to 0,000. I can't turn back.
Sure, the computers have the correct data.
Yes, of course. Yes. Do you think I could let this happen if I wasn't sure?
Something!
Look, I've done all I can. If there was anything I could do, I'd done it by now.
He tried to help me, Jerry. He did try to help all he could. It's just me doing one of those crazy things again.
Yeah, just you doing one of those crazy...
No one can help me now. I'm not going to cry anymore.
No, of course you're not.
Everything will be all right with you and Mother and Father, won't it?
Oh, yeah, sure, we'll make out fine. We'll make out fine.
He's going out of range. You'll have to hurry.
You're feeling out, Jerry. Jerry, you're getting out of range. I wanted to tell you, but I can't now. We've got to say goodbye. Maybe I'll see you again, though. Even if you don't see me. Or maybe I'll come to you in your dreams. Or maybe I'll be nothing you can see, but you'll know. Think of me, Jerry. Think of me. Think of me now, as I am now. I never want you to think of me as dead.
Always the way you are, little sister, never any other way.
I have to go now. Good. Goodbye, Jerry.
Goodbye, little sister.
I'm ready now. Goodbye.
EDS 34G calling ship's records.
Stardust, ship's record.
At 19:09 hours, stowaway T8374-Y84 was jettisoned. Details of stowaway's identification previously recorded. Over. EDS 34G calling parent ship. Normal procedure for stowaways has been carried out. The present position of EDS on manual control after acceleration